The air in the courtroom was as heavy as if it were filled with lead. Li Jianjun sat in the middle of the dock with his shoulders drooping, his hands trembling slightly on his knees. His sunken eye sockets were covered with bloodshot veins, and the gray prison uniform made his cheeks look even paler. This man, who had been charged with robbery and murder, was now left with nothing but the weariness of resignation, until he made his final plea in a hoarse voice. "Your Honor, let me meet my Zhao Tian." Silent. Reunion. When the heavy wooden door was pushed open, everyone's eyes froze. The German shepherd Zhao Shen was led in by the prison guards. His strong body stopped in the center of the courtroom. His amber eyes swept over the crowd, and suddenly a short howl burst out. That sound was like a knife cutting through the silence. Li Jianjun suddenly knelt down on the ground, allowing his tears to fall on the concrete floor. Zhao Tian broke free from his belt and threw himself into his arms. His furry head rubbed hard against his master's chin, and a pitiful sob came from his throat. "Sorry, my friend. ... Li Jianjun's fingers were deeply inserted into Zhao Tian's fur, as if he were going to imprint his soul in this final embrace. This military dog, which has accompanied him since his puppy days and once shielded him from snake bites during border patrols, is now going to witness his final outcome in court. Just as the two were embracing tightly, Zhao Tian suddenly bit into Li Jianjun's suit pocket and tore hard until a crumpled piece of paper dropped to the ground. Unexpected evidence. The moment defense lawyer Qin Jing picked up the piece of paper, her expression changed suddenly. She stood up sharply, her voice trembling with excitement. "Your Honor, we request an immediate suspension of the lawsuit. This could overturn the entire case." The court was instantly in an uproar, and the sound of the gavel couldn't suppress the continuous discussions. Judge Wang Lei frowned and took the paper. His eyes behind his reading glasses suddenly widened. It was a gas station receipt. On the back, the timeline of the night of the incident was written in a crooked pencil, and there was also a blurry fingerprint at the signature. "Mr. Li," Judge Wang's voice trembled in disbelief. "Do you recognize this piece of paper?" Li Jianjun shook his head blankly. I don't know what this is." He looked at Zhao Tian. The dog's paws were gently resting on his leg, and there was a kind of certainty in his eyes that was almost human. Lawyer Chen suddenly shouted, "This is the key evidence. At the time of the incident, my client was refueling at this gas station. The timestamp on the receipt and the surveillance footage can prove that he was not present. The password of loyalty." The truth unfolded layer by layer, like peeling an onion, before Li Jianjun was arrested. Zhao Tian had snatched this receipt from the mud-stained pocket of his coat and hidden it under the cushion of the doghouse. It remembers the action of its owner hurriedly stuffing it into the pocket that night. In the dazzling light at the gas station, the memory of time and place by military dogs is far more accurate than humans imagine. When Li Jianjun made his final request in court, Zhao Tian knew that this was the only chance to hand over the evidence. This court declares that the case will be reinvestigated as of today due to the emergence of new evidence. When Judge Wang's voice fell, Li Jianjun suddenly hugged Zhao Tian and burst into tears. Sunlight filtered through the stained glass of the court, casting golden spots on a person and a dog. Zhao Shen stuck out his tongue to lick away the tears on his owner's face, and a contented gurgling sound came from his throat. Some people in the public gallery began to applaud, with tears sliding down their cheeks. What they witnessed was not only the reversal of a miscarriage of justice, but also a miracle of loyalty that transcended species. Guardian beyond language. The result of the reinvestigation confirmed the authenticity of the receipt. At the time of the incident, Li Jianjun was waiting for rescue at the gas station due to his car breaking down. His figure was clearly recorded by the surveillance camera. When he walked out of the courtroom, Zhao Shen walked beside him with his head held high, his tail raised high. The journalist's flashlights kept flashing, but Li Jianjun looked down into the dog's eyes and said, in a tone only they could understand, "You've always known, haven't you, you clever fellow?" Zhao Tian rubbed his nose against his palm, and the amber pupils reflected the deep blue sky. The law sometimes gets lost, but loyalty never. In that fateful court, the military dog tore apart not only a piece of paper with its teeth, but also the dust fog covering the truth. It turns out that the deepest protection never requires words, only a heart willing to risk everything for the other person.